Hey guys, today we need to talk about scenery. So the new Twilight pack for Planet Zoo is coming out on October 18th, and to my surprise, it is a regular scenery pack coming out, meaning that we're getting new animals as well as new pieces, 200 plus pieces to be exact. When we were first getting ready to hear about a new pack, it was getting to be that time, I was convinced that it was going to be an animal pack just because the last pack that we got was a conservation pack. So I thought, next would be an animal pack. So I'm very excited that we're getting new scenery, and we've got 4 screenshots to go over today. The first that you're looking at is got a pumpkin in the front, so a jack-o'-lantern. This whole Twilight pack has a very Halloween spooky feel to it, as you can very much see by this screenshot. The jack-o'-lantern obviously is new and it lights up, which is what we learned from this screenshot. Other than that, I do see some kind of, what are those called? Not torches, the things with the fire in them. That looks like a new light to me. I don't believe that's something that we have in game. And then taking a look at the stone wall pieces, that definitely looks new to me. So that looks a little bit more like, kind of like the breeze block, but a little bit more uneven, kind of weathered, and not so much. There's another stone wall piece that we do have, but it has kind of smaller, less square stones, if I'm remembering right. So that wall does definitely look new to me. We see the little gargoyles, or are they're grotesques. Is that right? We're gonna get another picture here in just a second, but gargoyles technically have water coming out of their mouths, something that I learned with Frontier's post because I did not know the difference. And then we have new roof pieces, as we can see. So we have very pointy circular roof pieces up there. My question is going to be, is that just one piece, like a circular roof piece, or is it going to come in quarters so that you can place each of the 4 corners and either make a complete circular roof or part of it, or what the case may be? So that I don't know yet, but it definitely is new. We don't have anything like that in the game. And then I can see up on the top there, you get these little towers breaking off. I don't know, and you can't tell from this picture, whether those are singular pieces or if those are built with little individual pieces. If they're built with individual pieces, it looks like we're getting a lot of little stonework pieces, maybe some new beams, stuff like that. And then the last thing that I see in this picture are a couple pieces of foliage. So the twisted bristlecone pine, I think is what Frontier called it. That twisted tree that doesn't have any leaves on it, that we've seen in a lot of different screenshots and we'll see going forward as well as these, and they look like snapdragon flowers to me. Right at the left of the stairs coming down, those little yellow flowers. So those definitely look new to me. The little plant on the right hand side on the floor, that is the stinging nettle plant. We already have that in game. And then a couple of those trees don't necessarily look new. That one right behind the jack-o'-lantern in the raccoon video that I recorded, that one, it kind of looks like the mapingo tree, but not like the mapingo tree. So it could potentially be new as well. But if we move on to the second screenshot, we get a really good look at these twisted bristlecone pine trees. On their Twitter, they did kind of announce what they're called. So hopefully I'm recalling that correctly as I'm going through and recording this. I don't have their Twitter up in front of me. But in this picture, we get a much closer look at a lot of the foliage. So the flowers on the right-hand side are what remind me of snapdragons. Seeing them closer up, though, they're definitely not snapdragons. They're some sort of tube flower, but I don't know exactly what they are, but I definitely know that they're new. We get that same tree dead center. I love the look of it. It definitely looks a little bit different than the mapingo tree. The leaves look a little bit less They look different. I don't know how to describe it. They look different. I was going to try to go in and give you some adjectives, but I don't know what those adjectives would be. We see some beautiful ivy on the wall on the left-hand side. That is definitely a broader leafed ivy than what we have in game. So I'm very excited about that one. It's got some different coloration on it where it's kind of dark in the center and light around the edges of the leaves. So it really gives it a good coloration and some depth as well. It definitely looks a little bit more like it's popping off the wall, whereas the ivy that we have in game is very flat. So in this screenshot, you can see it's got some shadows to it and some depth. So I'm excited about that. I really like that ivy piece. Other than that, I can't quite tell if all this woodwork on the buildings is new or not. We have so many wooden beams in game. This definitely could be either the conservation pack beam or just the plain Planet Zoo painted beams. And I can't quite tell. So I'm guessing maybe not, but who knows? But we got some beams in there. We got that lantern above the archway, bunch of stone pieces. We got that metal looking hanger piece that's holding the light. So whether that's a separate piece or part of the light. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure I saw those lights hanging off of wood pieces in another screenshot. So that metal piece could potentially be new as well. We've got that metal kind of wrought iron fencing on the roof up top. And yeah, I think that's about it for this screenshot. All stuff in these screenshots obviously are geared very much towards spooky, haunted, Halloween themed stuff. But I am very pleased with, I can definitely see how usable they would be in something that is not this theming. Like those stone pieces look really cool, and they definitely could be decorated out of this theming. So I'm excited about that. And then this tree, I'm very excited about that dead center tree in this screenshot here. It looks beautiful. I'm very excited. Moving on to the third screenshot, this is where we see those grotesques. I think that's what they're called, not gargoyles, but it looks like that front one is the skunk, the one on the right is the raccoon, and then the fox is jumping over the top of them. These are very themed, very stylized statues. I really don't see myself using them almost at all, but I definitely think some players will have a blast with them. Some players that are more into Halloween or more into kind of medieval builds will definitely enjoy using those. I'm just not that kind of builder, so I probably won't ever touch these. But they're sitting on top of some stone pieces, and then we again in the back left-hand corner can see some more stone pieces and then the new roofing. So that very pointed tiled roofing looks very cool. We've got some more twisted trees in the background, more of those little flowers everywhere. Not too much to kind of jump into, but this last screenshot has a ton. Holy benches, Batman. Check out these things. They are so themed and so stylized, a lot like the statues we saw in the last screenshot. I very likely will not be using these, but they're very cool nonetheless. It is nice to have things that are just kind of so out there and different that allows you to build in these different styles. So again, for people that really love spooky season and Halloween and really want to do an overly themed section of their zoo, or a zoo that just goes ham with the theming, these benches are for you. They look terribly uncomfortable, and the kid on the right hand side looks like he hates his life, but nonetheless exciting to have in the game. We get another look at all the roofing in the background. Definitely, obviously new roofing, possibly recolorable, because that little arch there in the center looks to me like it's the same roofing pattern, but it's obviously not reddish orange like all the other roofing. It's more of like a gray. So possibly recolorable, fingers crossed. Please, Frontier, we want everything to be recolorable. We get more of those torches, lanterns, lights, whatever you want to call them, I see, with smoke coming off the top of them. And then in the right-hand side, the only other new thing that I see here is that mushroom piece. So we got a little bit of a glimpse of the mushroom pieces with the Egyptian fruit bat screenshot where it was kind of dark and there was one glowing. So I don't know if some of them glow or all of them glow, but that is apparently what the mushrooms look like when it's light out. Don't know if they're recolorable or not, but I would imagine they would be, being that they are the kind of piece that they are. And then yes, those are the lights straight back behind the guy with the white and blue striped shirt. That's the lantern hanging off the wood piece that I was thinking about. So back in that first or second screenshot, I forget now, that metal holding piece is likely separate from the light, which is cool. I love things that are separated into lots of tiny pieces, because then we can use the lots of tiny pieces for things that they're not intended to be used for. So that's fantastic. I do see more of kind of the wood trim, wood beaming stuff on these buildings, but again, from this screenshot, I really can't tell if they're new beams or not. They definitely look very similar to like the Planet Zoo painted beams, or like I said, the conservation pack beams, and the conservation pack beams are recolorable. So they come in like a light wood color to start, but they definitely could be recolored to match these. So I don't know, new or not, but let me know what you think. I don't normally jump in and talk about all the scenery pieces before a pack launches, but I figured we had a ton of screenshots put out. These are all from Planet Zoo's Twitter, so let me know what you think. Are you on the stylized, overly themed camp or team, or are you really not going to touch a lot of these overly themed pieces, kind of like I am? But I'm definitely excited for new roof pieces and new foliage. Always could use new foliage, so I'm very excited about the trees and the plants and things like that. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you think. If you made it this far, if you're enjoying the video, as always, you know what I'm going to say. Leave a like down below, and a comment really does help me out, and I greatly do appreciate it. If you are excited about the Twilight pack and don't want to miss out on any future content, hit the subscribe button, because we'll be covering the pack pretty heavily here. You can follow me on all of my other social media accounts. All those links are down in the description below. And until next time, I will talk at you in the next video. Bye!